All right, so welcome everybody to our first session of SALT Teens and Me for our 22-23 season. My name is Patty Schramm. I'm the Parent Resource Trainer Coordinator for the SALT Talks program. Tonight we have a special, our guests tonight are Kathleen Kaiser and Josh Wellner. They're from Greene County Board of DD. We are going to be talking about tonight and also playing a little game. You know, in your transition plan, are you planning for employment? Are you planning for post-secondary? What does that look like? So we just wanted to play a little game, just kind of get the ice broken a little bit about this topic. The chat box is there if you have any questions. Josh, do you want them to raise their hand, or if they ask any questions, or just do you want them just to ask?
I would say during the Kahoot, it's going to be pretty difficult. So I would say maybe put it in the chat, and then at the end, we can maybe go through the chat and go through any questions that people put in there. I'm not in a time crunch, so I can stay on here as long as anybody wants to talk about transition. So, or anything else.
All right. So if everybody's ready, we're going to go ahead and get going. Again, we're going to be using Kahoot. It's Kahoot It. You can open a second browser in your computer, or you can open up your phone using the Kahoot app. Or what I did was just pull it up on my phone in the browser. So you can do it many different ways. And then you type in that game pin number there at the top. I guess you could also do the QR code there too, and just scan it in too.
I've never tried that. I'm going to try it really quick just to see what happens.
I think it'll probably get you in. Yeah. So if you can sign in to play the game, if not, that's fine. You can throw your answers maybe in the chat box as we go. If you can't get signed in, that's fine. So I'm going to turn it over to Josh and Kathy.
Oh my gosh, that QR code is so easy. It takes you right to putting your name in. That's amazing. That's awesome. All right. Okay, everybody. So I'm gonna give you a little explanation here. We have 31 questions. The first 3 are warm-ups that have nothing to do with transition, just so you guys can practice your Kahooting. And then on question 4, we'll get into it. It's multiple choice, true or false, and some double pointers in there for the important ones. And we can talk about it afterwards if you guys want to. So, all right, here we go. Question 1. SALT, post-secondary education and employment, 3, 2, 1. True or false? The sky is always blue. True or false? The sky is always blue. You guys, that is true. It's always blue. You just can't see it because it's obscured by clouds sometimes. So that's the level of trickery we're going to be dealing with today. All right. Okay, another warm-up question for you. Multi-select. Dachshunds are known for being long, low, loud, or bratty. Dachshunds are known for being long, low, loud, or bratty. It was all of them. So you guys, sometimes there will be multi-selects on here. So be on the lookout for that. It could be all of them. It could be 2. All right. Kat.
And I also want to say, when you do the multi-selects, after you choose your choices, you have to hit submit on the multi-selects.
Oh, yes. That's important. That is important. Okay, so our last warm-up question. Who makes the best breakfast? Is it McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, or Taco Bell? Who makes the best breakfast? McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, or Taco Bell? This is, of course, nonsense. Who said Taco Bell? Somebody got it right. They do make the best breakfast. All right, we'll get serious now. That's the last of the nonsense. Ooh, Mark. Haven't seen you in a while, Mark. Glad you're here. All right. What does post-secondary mean? Does it mean before high school, before birth, or after high school? What does post-secondary mean? Before high school, before birth, after? It means after high school. Very good. Ooh, Kat in the lead. Fantastic. So we're going to be talking about everything after high school. True or false, there is a section in your IEP that discusses your post-secondary education and employment plans. True or false? There is a section in your IEP that discusses your post-secondary education and employment plans. That is true. We have got a smart bunch here. Fantastic. Very good. Kathy's struggling, but maybe she'll get in the game. We'll see what happens. All right, here's a poll. How do you feel about your IEP meeting? Do you love it, hate it? Does it make you nervous, or are you not sure? How do you feel about your IEP meeting? Do you love it, hate it, makes you nervous? I'm not sure. There's no points for this. This is just a poll, so you cannot get this wrong, so don't worry about it. All right, we have one person who loves it, one that's made nervous, and two people that aren't sure. Okay. This is for points. During your IEP, do you actively talk and participate, sit quietly and let the grown-ups talk, pretend you are somewhere far, far away, or hide under the table? What do you do during your IEP? Actively talk and participate, sit quietly and let the grown-ups talk, pretend you're somewhere far, far away, or hide under the table. Oh, two people that actively talk and participate, and we have one person hiding under the table. I'd like to be in that meeting. That'd be entertaining to see. Okay, Mel, 3 in a row. Nice job. True or false? It is okay to let your parents make all the decisions about your life. True or false? It is okay to let your parents make all the, okay. Interesting. You guys, I put false on that. I think it's great to talk to your parents and have their input and work as a team, but ultimately this is your life and you should be learning how to advocate for what you want. Mel's in the lead, Salt doing good, on fire. Another poll, no points. On the path to employment, would you describe yourself as already having a job, ready to work and wanting a job, not sure if you plan to work, or definitely not going to work? On the path to employment, would you describe yourself as you already have a job, ready to work and wanting a job, not sure if you plan to work, or definitely not going to work? All right, 3 people with a job and 1 not sure. I'm really glad nobody chose green. Definitely not going to work. That makes me happy. True or false? Work really isn't that important. True or false? Work really isn't that important. I just liked that GIF. I don't know if it really applies to this. That is false, you guys. Work is super important, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more coming up. It's one of the most important things in the world, actually. All right, Mel is killing it. Work is important because we get paid, we contribute to the community, we make important connections, or all of the above. Why is work important? Is it because we get paid, contribute to the community, make important connections, or all of the above? Awesome, you guys all got it right. It's very important for all those reasons: getting paid, contributing, and making connections. Very good. Multi-select. Remember to hit submit when you're finished. People that don't work are often lonely and sad, poor, get to do whatever they want, all of the above. People that don't work are often lonely and sad, poor, get to do whatever they want, or all of the above. This is a tricky one. The correct answer is lonely and sad and poor. They really don't get to do whatever they want, you guys, because they have very few connections in the community and almost no money to do anything with, and usually no transportation. So it's really not that great not working. All right, Mel is on fire. True or false? Work is really a big waste of time. My mom and dad will always take care of me. True or false? Work is really a big waste of time, and my mom and dad will always take care of me. True or false? That is absolutely false. Your parents are someday going to get old and decrepit and will not be able to take care of you. Mark, nicely done, moving up into 3rd. The best time to start working is as soon as possible, when I'm finished with school, when I'm 18, or all of the above. When is the best time to start working? As soon as possible, when I'm finished with school, when I'm 18, or all of the above. This is another tricky one, might not be fair. You guys, I went with as soon as possible. Yes, you could wait till you're finished with school. Sure, you could wait until you're 18, but the evidence overwhelmingly shows that students that wait till after high school might never work. So we want people to work as soon as possible, preferably in high school before they graduate. Ooh, Salt got that one.
And before you, yeah, and also I'll say something after that, Josh, go ahead.
Okay, work experience is important for learning what kind of jobs you like to do. True or false? Work experience is important for learning what kind of jobs you like to do. True or false? That is true. Okay, Kathy, go for it.
On that last question, when Josh says getting to work as soon as possible, that may just be working during the summer or maybe volunteering. Doesn't necessarily have to be working while you're going to school. There's a lot of programs out there that you can work some during the summer as well and get that work experience.
Yes. Just getting going, though, I think is key. We have a lot of students that wait, in my opinion, too long. Kat moves up into third. It's a battle between Kat and Mark. True or false? You have opportunities every year to participate in work experiences. True or false? You have opportunities every year to participate in work experience. True or false? That is true. Depending on what county you're in, your county board might provide some opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities, always offers them. Many schools we work with offer work opportunities, not to mention at home, you can always be doing chores and helping out. So there's always ways to begin getting that work experience. Right, it's going pretty good. Double points, you know, it's going to be important. Who should decide if and where you work? Your parents, you, your principal, or your teachers? Who should decide if and where you work? Your parents, you, your principal, or your teachers? All right, you guys, this is somewhat of a controversial question. I said you is the right answer, but I have kids of my own, and we always approach these things kind of as a team. And as a parent, I always weigh in on where my kids work and how much they work. But ultimately, I want my kids to be making those decisions. So I'm not saying, parents, that I don't think you should be involved. Don't be mad at me. Mel is still in the lead, on fire. Multi-select, what is post-secondary education? Is it college, any school after high school, trade school, or hanging with friends? I have a typo in this, you guys. So what is post-secondary education? College, any school after high school, trade, okay. All right, you guys all got that right. It's college, any school after high school, or trade school. It is not hanging out with friends. All right, nailed it. True or false? Post-secondary education helps you make more money and have more options. True or false? Post-secondary education helps you make more money and have more options. It is true. If any education you do after high school will increase your chances of making more money, but that's not really all that matters in the world, but you'll have more options. All right, Mel and Salt battling it out. True or false? College is the only way to learn skills after high school. True or false? College is the only way to learn skills after high school. True or false? That is false. There's lots of different ways, and we are going to get into some of those now. All right. Mel is really killing it. Here we go. Multi-select. Which of these are post-secondary education options? Going to an adult day program, studying a trade like welding, going to barber school, or getting a 2-year degree at a community college? Which of these are post-secondary education options? Adult day program, learning a trade, going to barber school, or community college? Okay, guys. You guys know this also is kind of a loaded one. There are some adult day programs that could do some skills, but I don't see too much of that. All right. What is this person studying? Heating and air, cosmetology, welding, or plumbing? What is this person studying? Heating and air, cosmetology, welding, or plumbing? I have no idea what they're doing to this person in this picture. That's cosmetology. It looked like they were.
Tattooing
Is that what they were doing?
eyebrows. Yeah, it's
Tattooing an
it's a
eyebrow?
thing. Yes,
Wow. I have too many eyebrows. I would never want that. What is this person studying? Heating and air, welding, cosmetology, or plumbing? What is this person studying? Heating and air, welding, cosmetology, or plumbing? That is heating and air, although that gauge did look like something that a welder could use with mixed gas welding. All right, Mel still in the lead. What is this person studying? Is this plumbing, cosmetology, physics, or welding? What is this person studying? Plumbing, cosmetology, physics, or welding? That is physics. And I don't even know if that really is physics because I'm not smart enough to even know anything about that. But when I typed in physics, that's the picture that came up. So what is this person studying? Is this plumbing, cosmetology, welding, or heating and air? That is welding. That was TIG welding, and that was one of my first failed careers. All right, Mel, can you hold on? We're almost to the end. True or false? You must go to college to be successful. True or false? You must go to college to be successful. True or false? That is false, you guys. You do not have to go to college to be successful. I tell people all the time that there are lots of options, especially in the trades, that make a lot of money. All right, SALT has 21 in a row. In your IEP, you should talk about your post-secondary goals. True or false? In your IEP, you should be talking about your post-secondary goals. True or false? That is true. You're the most important person that should be talking in your meeting. And not too often, it's not the students talking in the meetings. All right, Mel is in the lead. I don't even know how many questions. Okay, we have a couple questions left. I find it hard to speak up for myself. Yes, no, I am loud and proud. A little bit, I'm not sure. So do you find it hard to speak up for yourself? Yes, no, okay. A little bit and not sure. Okay, so we definitely can work on some confidence issues. All right, here's a poll. Do your teachers ask you to speak in your IEP meeting? Yes, no, I can't remember. Do your teachers ask you to speak in your IEP? Okay, nobody said no, so I'll take that as a sign of hope. Double points. I plan to speak up in my next meeting. Yes or no? I plan to speak up in my next meeting. Yes or no? Double points, folks. Oh, 2 of you said no with double points on the line. Oh, but not Mel and Salt. Okay, last question. I know what I want to do after high school. Yes, I agree with that. No, I have no idea. I'm working on it, or I really don't care. Do you know what you want to do after high school? So 1 of you has no idea, and 3 are working on that. Okay, so here we go. 3rd place goes to Kat. Second place goes to Salt. And first place goes to Mel. Nicely done, Mel. You really know your stuff. And then Mark and Kathy. Kathy gets an honorable mention at the end. She really struggled throughout most of this, but she didn't give up, and that's what matters. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to stop sharing. And there we go. So does anybody, actually, I got to turn this off. I can hear all this music in the background. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, so were there any questions, or does anybody want to discuss this? Or was that so informative that I just covered all the bases? There's just absolutely nothing to talk about after that.
Well, I'll start the question since my son's a little older, and during the IEP, when we had IEPs, the talk of after high school was it was like mostly it was talked about during high school. So is it up to the parent or the student to initiate getting that conversation going, or is it one of the questions on the IEP?
Was that a question for me?
Either one of you.
Kathy, yeah, you answer. Okay, this is more Kathy's bread and butter. You're muted.
Will you say, so go ahead. Ask me that question again, Patty.
So whenever we had an IEP, a lot of things were discussed of the current, the education and everything, of their current classes and goals for next year and stuff. But when you talk about after post high school and trying to put those goals into an IEP, is there an actual question on the IEP that addresses that? Or do we have to, as parents, or does the student say, hey, I want to talk about this?
Well, on the transition part of it, I don't, it's not an actual question, but when it says their post-secondary goal, their post-secondary employment goal, their education goal, and their independent living, those should be the goals that the student is choosing. And then everything should go from there. And also with that age appropriate, with the transition assessment, there should be something there that says that the student's been interviewed and what you should have been asked those, but your teacher is usually the one that asks it and then puts the information taken from the student into that IEP. So the teacher asks. So, and it is, if they're at their IEP, they talk about that. I was in 2 IEPs today, and we talked about that with the students. What do they want to do? One wanted to be a mechanic or maybe a welder, but was trying to decide if he wanted to go to the career center. Another one still isn't sure about doing things, and he's working more on trying to figure out what he's going to do. But we asked him in the meeting, and that's a good place to get the information, is actually in the meeting, which is why it's so important for the student to go.
Does anybody else have some questions? I don't want to be the only one asking questions.
How about asking them some questions, Josh? And they can always put their answers in the chat box about what they want to do.
Well, so first of all, how many, I only know, okay, I only know one of the names here. Well, I know Brittany Connor. I don't know. So how many students are in this? What grade Elena's in? 10th. Okay, great. So kind of young in the transition process, but are you guys, has Elena had any career exploration opportunities or work experience, or been thinking about what's going to happen after high school? An interest inventory? Great, great. I always like to tell students, I was in 2 IEPs today also, and we talked a lot about if you're not connected with opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities, I recommend you get connected, because in the summertime they do summer work experience, which I think theirs is 5 weeks of paid work experience, and it's a great way for students to try out work, and they get to taste that the paycheck, the reward for going to work every day. Like in our county, in Greene County, we do a 2-week experience. So we have a lot of students who will do our work experience 1 year, and then maybe the next year they'll go do OODs. And it just keeps moving them forward. And so we have a lot of students that start off with volunteering in school, and then maybe they do a work experience, and then soon they start getting ready to go out and do employment. So anybody else? Is there any other students in the house? Danielle Henry, are you a student? Oh, here we go. No, a 10th and exploring school. Is their mom have one to address it?
Hi, I'm a parent.
Oh, hi, Danielle.
Hi. Sorry, I was driving for the first part of this meeting.
Oh, no problem. I'm going to answer. Let me try to say this name real quick. Neziana, did I say it right? Am I even close? I don't even know, but Mezana. Okay. So I will tell you that post-secondary is section 5 of the IEP. And in section 5, there are 3 parts. They should be addressing post-secondary education, post-secondary employment, and in my opinion, everybody should have an independent living goal, but not everybody puts goals in there. So when you reach age 14, the transition section has to be completed. So it will be brought up in the meeting. So it's section 5. They usually go in order through it, through IEPs. So when you get to that section 5, if you're not finding stuff that you like in there, you can say, hey, can we talk about this a little bit more? I'd like to talk about, and in an employment goal, I don't like it when I see it. I like somewhat specific goals. We don't really like it when we see something like sometimes I'll see something really vague in an IEP, like the student will choose employment in the field of their choice. And that's just like so vague. That's like really hard to be working towards something like that. So we try to do like lots of inventories and career exploration with students so that we can have an idea of what they specifically want to do. And then our team shares that with their teachers so they can so the teachers can write more informed goals, because I think I don't necessarily think we have to be so specific that we're going to say like so-and-so wants to work at Soin Hospital in the linens department on second shift only on the weekends. Like, I don't think a goal has to be that specific, but if we could say they would like to work in a hospital environment, or they would like to work in, just try to narrow it down somewhat, but make sure you bring it up. It's section 5 of the IEP. So Danielle, okay, I'm sorry, Danielle. So you are driving. Are you just a parent, or you have students with you?
Just a parent right now. My son's not available.
Okay. And how old is your son?
He's 18.
And so are you guys coming along with the post-secondary transition stuff? Feeling like you have a plan coming together?
Well, not at this point. He's in his final year of high school. He is in a vocational training track at school. So they go out 2 days a week and work a couple hours in the Dayton area. Okay.
And so when his IEP rolls around, do you not feel like this goal development is being discussed in the meeting?
No, it is normally discussed, and I've been in touch with his teacher already this year, specifically to ask, about formulating a little more specific plan for post-graduation.
Okay. I think, I'll tell you, Kathy and I have been doing what we do in Greene County for, I think this is our 6th year. And I really expected the employment needle to move. Like we in Greene County have about a 33% employment rate for students with developmental disabilities in Greene County, which I find pretty frustrating. And, and we really work intentionally with trying to expose them to career exploration options, post-secondary education. But it is tough to get students to really drill down on what they want to do and to speak up. So I think that, getting that exposure and getting out there as often as you can. And I always just think about everywhere we go, people are doing jobs. It always amazes me everywhere we go. And it's so often our students are not having conversations about, what do you think about that job? What is that person doing? Would you be interested in doing that kind of job? So I think career exploration can happen anywhere. But it definitely for some students takes a little while to develop. And some people have to go out and work and actually try jobs to determine. Like we have some students who really just use the what didn't I like doing experience. So, but anyway, so I don't know anything. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like being on like a radio call-in show. I like it when I can't see people's faces.
So one of the things we're touching on employment tonight. We're trying to, get you thinking because your kids are in school, what are you going to do next, or what are they going to do next, and how to tie it into that plan. So just so, tomorrow we're talking about Project Life and Project Search at our Lunch and Learn. And then next week, we're going to be meeting and hearing from some local post-secondary programs, just to get you some exposure to those as well. Is there any questions, any more questions for Josh? Kathy had to go to a meeting. Oh, that was just their visual. The visual went off. Let's see, which one was that? Oh, no. Maybe they just went off.
No, this is Carolyn Krug. Yeah,
There we go.
we tried to put on our video, but it wouldn't let us.
It
Now you can. We're just gonna say goodbye.
Hey, wait,
Oh,
really?
okay.
Hey, wait, really quick, you guys. I'm gonna show you something really before you guys go. One last thing, and then I'll leave everybody alone. It'll take me a second to pull this up. Hold on, because I really am trying to get this going. Come on, open up before I lose the crowd. Hurry. Come on, my computer's moving slow. Okay, here we go. So in Greene County, we're doing a thing called All Hands In. And we do a lot of events that are open to the entire community all the time. And this is our September newsletter. Most of this is over with, but I wanted to show this right here. Diners Club will be happening at the Fairfield Mall this coming Monday from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And I would love to see people come. All we do is hang out and eat dinner together. And it's a lot of nonsense. It's a great opportunity for people to work on some skills. If they're, so for some students that are kind of a little bit more advanced, they just get dropped off and they navigate the food court, order food by themselves. Some of them walk around the mall with friends and go shopping. However, some don't have quite that level of independence and their parents hang out with them. Sometimes the parents just kind of hang off on the outskirts and let them be as independent as possible. But we're doing a lot of this stuff every month. So I'm going to put, my email address for this in the chat. And if anybody is interested in getting on my mailing list, and I've been talking with, I've been working with Butler, Claremont, Warren, Claremont, did I say that one already? Hamilton, all the, and Greene and Montgomery, because we want to start doing some like major events that are worth traveling for. So we want people to get out of there. I always tell people, I live in Montgomery County. My kids go to school in Miami County. I work in Greene County. My life doesn't happen in one county. So I would like to start seeing people get out and do stuff and make friends. And I'm not saying you got to drive an hour every week or something, but sometimes we do cool stuff. So yeah, so please send me an email if you'd like to get on my mailing list. It's right. So, all right, that's all I have.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed our Kahoot. We won't be doing games like every time. Next month, we will be talking about life skills and we'll have, still some activities, that kind of thing. During this session, the SALT Teens and Me, because it is a combination for the student and the parent. So we want to keep, have a good activity and to talk at the same time, talk about a transition related topic. So I want to thank you everybody for coming and have a great evening, and email Josh. If you don't have his email after you get off here and say, oh, I didn't sign up or I lost his email, just let me know and I'll forward it to you as well. Okay. And then remember, next week we're talking post-secondary and tomorrow is Project Life and Project Search.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good evening.